What's up everybody, Rebel here, and we finally got Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. Let's get into it.
Darn you, Crash Bandicoot!
Alright, so Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, finally came out, and Crash 4 because it's Crash 1, Crash 2, and then Crash 3, and then all the other games kind of don't really count anymore, at least in the main timeline, because there's multiple timelines and stuff, and it's... oh my god, I have just been having a blast playing this game. So it's made by Toys for Bob, and they did not do the Crash Insane trilogy. That was Vicarious Visions. Toys for Bob did the Spyro Insane trilogy, and also Beanox did all of the inverted levels, which I'll get to in a minute, and Beanox also did the remaster or remake of Crash Team Racing. So it's like that little triplet of development crews is just kind of did a little twirl around, a little Mad Tea Party switcheroo. So you know that this game is in good hands, and oh my god, they did such a good job. The gameplay here, it feels a little different, but it still feels really good. It doesn't feel bad in any way. The double jump is here, it's standard. There's a circle under you for when you jump, you know exactly where you're gonna land, and oh my god, it is amazing. I love it. At first I thought maybe I'd want to take it off. No, it's so good to have because you can't really see a shadow, and it just removes all doubt and just lets you focus on the timing and that sort of side of the difficulty of platforming, and less on the guessing if you're actually gonna land on the box you're trying to land on. On top of that, the game's now in modern mode, which instead of having lives and getting a game over and losing your lives when you die, it tallies your deaths. So how many times you die, it adds up. Which is great if you're, because the game's incredibly difficult. So if you're trying a part over and over and over again, like I was, even though I ended up missing 2 boxes anyway, I ended up trying this part about 70 something times, just trying to get it perfect, just trying to make sure I didn't miss any boxes. And it was the inverted mode. I don't know why I didn't try it on the regular mode first to get all the boxes, but the inverted mode made it go faster, so it was even more challenging. And even though I was trying it 60 times and I was getting so frustrated, it was so fun. It's so challenging. This game really does push the boundaries of platformers, and oh my god, it's so great. So you're gonna unlock masks throughout the progress, and you don't get to use them whenever you want. You have to use them at certain parts of the stage that let you use them, but there's one that phases certain items in and out. So if you can have a bridge with boxes on the side, and the bridge will be there but the boxes aren't, so when you hit R2 or triangle, it'll switch to where the boxes are there and the bridge isn't. So it's kind of fun to try to mix that in with platforming and jumping and trying to know exactly when to phase things in or out. There's one of the Chinese levels where there are wall running segments. Yeah, there's wall running in here. It's a little wonky, but it works pretty good. But there's wall running, and there's invisible boxes on the wall running thing. I had kind of experimented and learned that if you phase in a box that you're standing where it's gonna phase, the box will just break. If you do it to a solid item, you'll die. But if you do it to a box, it'll break. So the key of that, you can just completely do the triple wall run without the boxes phased in and remove all of the difficulty, but get rid of the challenge of trying to get the boxes. But the point would be to have the boxes unphased, and then right as you're where the boxes are, phase them in so they break, and then unphase them, jump to the next wall, do it again, and then as you jump to the third, leave them unphased because they're nitros and you don't want to break those boxes. And it's just the way that they can make these platforming challenges so challenging with new mechanics that feel like they've kind of always deserved a spot in the Crash franchise. It's amazing. They do have the Tornado Death Spin from Crash 3 as a mask, and that can get... that was getting really frustrating until I realized that if I just stop spinning over the platform, it's going to be a lot easier than trying to land on the platform while spinning. It takes a little bit of getting used to some of the things here, but oh my god, it is so much fun. So the modern mode, it's at first I was like, oh, maybe I'll, switch it over to retro. No, modern mode is amazing. It's great to have that because you just die a bunch in this game. It's kind of, it would seem counterintuitive to want to go off of lives. There's the challenge of trying to do a perfect run platinum, an insanely perfect run. I don't know what they call it in here, but it's where you get, I think, 5 of the 6 gems. You don't have to get the hidden gem if you've already gotten it, and you don't die at all. So basically going through and breaking all the boxes that should give you all the Wumpa and not dying. And oh my god, that is insanely hard. I did it on the first 2 stages. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it to any of the other levels. And oh my god, what else do we got here? Yeah, so those are going to be the 6 gems that there are. There's one for getting 40, 60, and 80% of all of the Wumpa fruit in the level, one for breaking all of the boxes, a hidden gem, and one for beating it with 3 or less lives. And the levels here are great. I haven't had an issue with any of them. The themes are amazing. Some of them stand out more than others. I really liked the Day of the Dead theme level because they're side-scrolling with like piano keys that make notes and like trumpet buttons, and it's just so well designed. The snow levels might be my least favorite. The pirate levels are great. I love the end of one of the pirate levels when you end up at like a vault with a bunch of gold and there's just a bunch of like question mark and golden Wumpa boxes all over right there. It's so fun. And the levels have a little bit of everything. There's not going to be a stage that's just purely a chase level like some of the older games they incorporated in. It doesn't overstay its welcome. They did it really good. They did the levels so good. Now, I haven't unlocked all of the levels. I've only gotten probably like 7 hours into the game. I know that's enough for some people to do it, but I have been replaying levels, trying to unlock skins that I really wanted, because there are skins in the game. So you can dress up Crash and Coco in all these different outfits that you unlock in the levels, which is amazing. It's great. There's a lot of cool skins here. However, towards like level 6 or 7, I was like, okay, I'm not going to be able to unlock these skins unless I sit here for a long time and try to get all 6 gems. Well, it turns out that once you fight one of the bosses, it unlocks inverted mode, which adds this like mirrored image of the level. So the level is mirrored, but there's also this interesting sort of dynamic going on with the level. From the pirate ones have like your spins and breaking boxes splashes paint to kind of color the level. There's one that's, I think it might be, is it the Mardi Gras one or the Chinese themed one? I think that one might just be a weird black and white. Some of them aren't as amazing as I thought they were going to be. One of them's like comic booky, to where it's like the old 60s dotted way of coloring comics, and when you attack enemies or break boxes, it's like pow, bam, boo. The first 2 stages are like echolocation, which is pretty cool. I wish that they kind of mixed them up. They have a world that has 4 or 3 of the same themed level, and all of those inverted modes are going to be the same for that theme. It doesn't come down to the level, it comes down to the theme. Also, instead of having like the level themes spaced out, they're all kind of in one little hub. Not one little hub, one little section of the hub, one little section of the hub. Like instead of a warp room, it's that world and 3 different levels or 4 different levels in that theme. So the pirate theme, the Chinese theme, the Jurassic theme, the New Orleans swamp theme, those kind of switch, because the first stage is really like New Orleans Day of the Dead and the other ones are like Swampy Bayou. They're pretty similar, but their way of grouping the levels together, I feel like works really well, because one of the main flaws that I see with Mario Galaxy is that there's like the honeybee levels, and those are like kind of easy, but they show up really late in the game, like in the last warp room, and it's like, why are you putting one of the easiest level themes this late in the game? Like, certain themes only allow for a certain level of difficulty, and this game kind of, I wouldn't say prevents against that, because I haven't gotten to the end and seen how difficult those levels get, but based on how increasingly difficult the game gets, I don't think it's going to be stopping anytime soon. I'm pretty sure it's just going to get more and more difficult. As I was leading to, the inverted mode allows the 6 gems to be collected again. So if you could only get 4 of the 6 gems of a level, but you really wanted that Samurai Crash theme, once you unlock inverted mode, go back to that level, play the inverted mode, and get another 2 or 3 gems, and boom, that's enough gems to unlock the skin that you want to get, which is great because you can unlock skins early on. You can replay a stage in inverted mode, add to the time before you end up playing the last boss, and still not even gone back for gem cleanup, not tried to get the only dying 3 times gem in either of the levels, which tends to be the one that I can never get, the only dying 3 times. I mean, I guess I could get it if I just didn't try to get all of the boxes, but I usually try to get all of the boxes, even though that the boxes are so well hidden that I end up missing at least 2, 4, 10 of them anyway. Besides that, the animation style is different, the character design is a little different, but it's welcome. I don't mind it. I think everyone is designed pretty well. You know, Tana might be a little too thick. I don't think anyone's ever actually complained, hey, that character model is too thick. It's not as thick. So yeah, Cortex is very cartoony in here. Uka Uka, who I think dies in the beginning, it's unclear. Engine and Embryo are back, and they're super cartoony and super kind of quirky. I guess would be the word, which just is in stark contrast to Entropy, who is the head villain here, and he is just purely maniacal in here. Now, keep in mind, I haven't beaten the game, so I don't know what happens at the end, but I probably wouldn't want to spoil that for you anyway. What else did I make notes of? The cutscenes, if you have skins collected and skins equipped, like the samurai skin or the roadster skin, on either of them, even if you're playing with Crash, and you've already selected a different skin for Coco, those skins appear in the cutscenes, which is pretty weird. It's pretty strange looking, but I love it. There's colored gems. I did not know that when I was playing, and then I saw a colored gem outline. Like, hey, come back here when you get the colored gem. And I was just like, no way, bro, there's colored gems. That's amazing. I love it. I did kind of look it up, and there's only 4 of the colored gems. But still, there's colored gems, and one of them is kind of like a similar way of getting one of the gems in one of the other games. Wink, wink. There are these flashback tapes, which are basically like the qualification of getting to a death route where you don't die until you get to the tape, and then you unlock the tape, and it's this very, very hard side-scrolling challenger where you have to break boxes. There's barely ever a platform under you except for like when you spawn in and when you leave the level, and maybe a checkpoint halfway through. Besides that, it's just open gaps with boxes all over them, and it's kind of intense. And keep in mind, I've only played about 4 of them, I believe. I've only unlocked 6. Towards the later portion of the game, I'm no longer able to unlock them because I die a lot. This game is tough, man. Engine was a pretty good boss, I gotta say, because Engine's back. He's a pretty good boss. Spoilers, Embryo's boss battle. Spoilers, you could just hit the skip 10 or skip 15. If you don't want to hear this, it's exactly the same boss battle as Crash 1. It's kind of funny. It is kind of funny. I kind of like it, though. It's a cool little callback. I like it. Restarting a level, like if you want to get the flashback tape and you want to restart the level, even if you died right away and you still are starting at the beginning of the stage, it's going to have that counted as a death. Your death marker is going to go up 1, even if you're just spawning at the beginning of the level again, so you have to restart the level, and that ends up taking, it took me about 25 seconds, 25 to 30 seconds. Sitting, respawning, being at the start of the level, hitting restart, basically getting the death number at the top right of the screen to go back down to 0. It has to reload the entire level, and that takes 25 seconds. Another annoying thing, because of how challenging this game is, the bonus stages are incredibly challenging as well. I wouldn't mind respawning in the bonus stage, and then if you hop back on the bonus stage platform that took you there, you can leave the stage and then go back. Like, you keep hopping on the platform, and it'll take you back and forth until you beat it, and then it locks the bonus stage. Because I don't want to die in the bonus stage and go outside of the bonus stage, hop on the platform, have the platform, and then you see the bonus stage and you're like running, and then the thing comes in, you're like, okay, I can do the bonus stage again. All of that explaining, the time it took for me to explain that is how long it takes to start the bonus stage. You just fell in, and now you got to go through all of that again, which takes about 10 seconds, and it's just like, I was in the bonus stage, I'm going to keep doing the bonus stage, just respawn me in the bonus stage. That is one quality of life fix that they haven't really put into the Crash games. And here, because of the difficulty, it would be incredibly helpful. And I guess that's going to wrap it up. That's my first impressions. That is my first impressions. Where is the screen? That is my first impressions of Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. It's amazing. I am having a blast. It is really good. It is really... It's the best platforming experience that I've had in ever. It's super good. If you're like, should I get it? Should I get it? If you're questioning it and you're like, well, what about the playtime if it's not that long? Well, there's a lot of replay value here, trying to get all of the gems, trying to play all of the inverted modes, doing all of the flashback tapes, and then there's time trials on top of that. You can get your money's worth out of it, but if you don't think you're going to, then I guess wait for a sale. If you'd rather pay 40, I'm sure it'll end up being 40 eventually, and then once it's standard priced at 40, it'll be on sale for 20. You know, so you may end up being able to play this for a pretty good price in early 2022. If you can wait a little bit, then good for you. And I guess save your money. If you think that saving 20 bucks, 30 bucks is worth not playing it for months and months, then I guess go ahead and do it. I did not want to wait. But I love Crash Bandicoot, so that's just me. But this is great. This is great. I'm having a blast. The challenge is real. Oh my God, is this challenging? I cannot reiterate enough. I don't think I'm going to be able to 100% this game. I'm going to try, and I'm going to put some time into it. Oh my God, it is so much fun. And that's going to wrap this one up. Let me know what you guys think. Have you guys picked up Crash 4? Are you waiting to hear more about it? I feel like the majority of people already have their mind made up. They just want to hear what the people they like to listen to have to say about it, just so they can get either more hyped or less hyped about the game. But they're probably going to end up making the same choice, getting it or not getting it. But I'd say get it. I'm having a blast. I hate that they do a demo for digital and not physical, because I love physical. I want the box. I have the box in my hands, and it makes me happy. It brings me much joy. I can sniff it. I can lick it. It was in plastic, so I'm the only one who's touched it. And yeah, that's gonna wrap this one up. Hey, if you are interested in more Crash Bandicoot videos, I have some playlists down below. There's a Crash Bandicoot playlist. There's a Rebels retrospective playlist where I do retrospectives on games, and I just did the Crash Insane trilogy, anticipating this game coming out, so you can go check that out. I'm probably gonna end up doing some videos on this game though. I'm definitely gonna do a whole big review, big old Rebels review, big old video with skits and jokes and really digging into this game and looking at it in depth. But I don't know what else I want to. My slobber's all over the game now. But I don't know what else I want to do. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe I could just do walkthroughs of levels. I know when you're like, oh, I want to, how do you get all the boxes? And it's just a gameplay. There's nobody there commentating, telling you, you know, you do being like, hey, here's the checkpoint. If you haven't gotten this many boxes, turn back or die or kill yourself. Literally. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. And until next time, peace.